Welcome back to Lunchtime Agenda. Joining me now from Sydney is Dr Adam Lockyer from the US Studies Centre. Dr Adam Lockyer, we heard from the US President Barack Obama just a short time ago. This is the second indication in as many days that he said that more needs to be done surrounding gun laws in America. Stopping short of saying what that more is, though, what is the next step for the President?
So at this stage, there's an outpouring of grief that the President's tapping into. So at this stage, the nation needs to see the President sharing in their grief, but also with some sort of idea about, well, what's going to happen in the near future. So there is no specifics at this stage, but it looks as though that a bill will be introduced into Congress and will have the President's support.
But is it now or never for change in America when it comes to gun laws? And how far can the President actually go? I mean, when we're talking about immediate steps, because there's still fierce opposition and the gun lobby is very powerful in the United States. Just give us a sense of why that is and why it's such a difficult cultural shift in America.
Yeah, so what we see is after these tragedies, often support for tougher gun control actually drops. So Americans see these tragedies, they feel scared, they feel alone, and what they want is the opportunity to go and buy their own weapons to protect themselves. But they don't actually ever do. So over the last 20 years, we've seen gun ownership drop, but support for tougher gun controls has also dropped off as well. So you see these two conflicting patterns occurring in the United States.
Well, we did see when Barack Obama, in his first term, did lobby for more gun controls, but that kind of fell by the wayside. Now Barack Obama is in his second and final term. Why not? I mean, he doesn't have to worry about re-election, so shouldn't this be a little bit easier for him to pursue?
Sure, but he has a stiff opposition in Congress. So we have a few lone voices in Congress pushing for tougher gun control, but the President has only so much control over Congress. So he can come out, he can say, I support tougher gun control. If you bring a bill to the White House, I will sign it. But unless the lawmakers actually make the laws, he can't sign them into laws.
Well, we have heard from powerful figures like Michael Bloomberg calling for greater gun controls. Does this help the debate, and how significant is it that people like Michael Bloomberg want to see these greater controls?
After these tragedies, these voices are always heard, but they haven't had much success in pushing the agenda forward. There's a very tight voting bloc of Republicans who refuse to vote in any tougher gun controls, and the Democrats as well. Any Democrat who has constituency that includes rural voters are very hesitant to introduce tougher gun control. So unless Congress can get its act together, there's very little that these voices like Bloomberg or the President even can do to push the agenda forward.
So what you're really saying is we are seeing these comments from Barack Obama today saying that he wants to do all within his power to stop tragedies like this. But what you're saying is that he can do very little in terms of change.
That's right. So everything within the President's power, it's actually very limited. So he can come out as a public voice, as a figure to rally around. But besides that, he can't actually pass the laws. He can only sign them into law.
Dr Adam Lockyer, thanks so much for joining us on Lunchtime Agenda. In the wake of this tragedy, America's gun laws have come into sharp focus.